Should be there in 5 minutes. Will folded the phone and stood up. Come on, we gotta go. Wren looked up at him in disbelief. Now? Yeah, sorry. But there's only 2 minutes left. I know. Will took his daughter by the hand and excused himself as they made their way down the row. He glanced back at Stephen, finding that his son hadn't moved. Let's go. Stephen frowned. Now, Will said, his voice taking on the timbre of command. Brimming with teen hostility, Stephen stood and grabbed his jacket. As Will made his way through the crowd with Wren in hand, looking back over her shoulder to watch the game, and Stephen in tow at least 10 feet back, he unlimbered his phone and called his team. Outside, Will returned his phone to his pocket and examined the night sky. He'd reached all his team. Shell McHenry had been on the firing range. Maggie Foley had been attending an art lecture in Jacksonville. Estrella Montoya had been home with her 6-year-old son, and Remy Gautreau had been out with one of the young women that always seemed to flock around him. Helicopter rotors sounded overhead. Will's phone rang and he answered. Coburn. Commander Coburn, this is Express 09er, a young male voice said. Director Larkin sent us to pick you up, sir. You should have a visual on us. Copy that, Express. Visual confirmed. Great. We can't put down, but we've got a basket ready. Will took a mini maglite from his pocket, switched it on, and waved it over his head. The bright light knifed through the darkness. The helo had already drawn the attention of some of the people loitering in the parking lot. I'm providing a visual, Express. Do you see me? Affirmative, Commander. My kids are here. Can we get them home? Roger that, sir. Director Larkin sent along an agent to take care of that for you. We'll drop him and we'll pick you up. Will folded his phone and turned to Stephen. Despite his son's attitude and the pressing need to address it, Will stayed on task. Stephen? Stephen looked up at him. I don't know how long this will take, Will said. I need you to take care of your sister. Stephen nodded. The chopper hovered overhead. A cargo bucket appeared in the side doorway and started down. A lone figure held on. You feel like driving? Will asked. Stephen looked at him. He'd gotten his driver's permit a month ago. I haven't driven at night much. Once you're away from the stadium, the traffic won't be as bad as it was when we came in. Will reached into his jeans pocket and took out his keys. If you're up to it. Yeah! Whatever mood gripped Stephen, it would have been almost impossible for a 15-year-old boy with a brand-new driver's permit to pass up an opportunity to drive. Will just hoped that whomever Larkin had sent to get his kids home didn't regret it. Let me grab my gear. Will trotted over to his dark metallic blue Chevrolet Avalanche Z71 and keyed the electronic locks. They popped open at once. He reached into the back and took out the locked equipment case he carried with him wherever he went. With the NCIS posting, he was never truly off duty. He had to be ready to roll in a moment's notice. Spare gear at home and in his vehicle was a must. He tossed his son the keys. Stephen caught them but made no move to step toward his father. Hey, Dad! Wren grabbed Will around the waist and hugged him tightly. Will kissed her forehead. Knowing the clock was ticking, thinking of the girl being held in a situation he'd never want his daughter in. Footsteps sounded behind him and he turned. Commander Coburn, I'm Special Agent Fulton. Will shook the man's hand and quickly introduced him to Wren and Stephen. Get them home safe. They can handle it from there. Stephen's driving. He just got his driver's permit. Take care of my truck. Fulton looked uneasy. Commander, You're in the NCIS, Special Agent Fulton. You're trained for difficult situations. Riding as co-pilot for a beginning driver is not as hard as it gets. Will's tone brooked no denial of responsibility. Yes, sir. Bye, Dad, Wren called. Will waved one last time, then sprinted for the cargo bucket hanging from the Sea Knight's side. The rotor wash blew litter around the parking lot. As he was pulled toward the helicopter in the bucket, Will thought about his son driving his truck and offered a brief prayer that God would see his son and daughter home safely. Then he turned his thoughts and his prayers to the kidnapped girl. Chapter 2. Dr. Nita Tomlinson eyed the current guest in her